Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the PenForestTownship.com news, and I am Big Al, and Paul and I are here to bring you the latest events that are happening in Penforest Township. Our broadcast tonight is sponsored by Carbon Taxi. Call 325 Limo for all of your transportation needs. Limos and buses are also available. Also starting tonight, we will bring you a new segment each night. Our new segment is entitled The Word on the Street. The Word on the Street will be sponsored tonight the American Civil Liberties Union. They are here to protect all of our rights, especially freedom of speech.
Well, Big Al, it was quite a crowd we had at the June meeting. Where do you think they all came from?
Well, Paul, I believe they were the crowd who frequents the local watering hole down the road, as they gathered up all the patrons from the bar to protest this website.
Why would they want to do that, Alan?
Well, Paul, as you know, they all have their right to freedom of speech. However, what disturbs me, Paul, is if they are upset with this website, why do they keep tuning in? Perhaps, Paul, they have nothing better to do with their time.
I understand, Alan, that the gentleman intends to file an ethics complaint.
Yes, Paul, that is his prerogative. Personally, I can't wait until he does, because that will be even more publicity for this website. Also, Paul, I understand that you are a disgrace to the Democratic Party.
Well, Alan, that is only according to Christine Fatso. As you know, I do what is right, and that is what is important.
Well, actually, Paul, that is not the way some of the residents like things in Penforest Township. As you know, some of the residents have taken the side of supervisors who do nothing for this township other than show up at a meeting once a month. Some of them even refer to how we have done things in this township for the last 30 years.
Do you mean underhanded and backward?
Yes, that is correct, Paul. As you know, Paul, previously the employees ran this township and the supervisors had no clue as to what was going on.
Can you explain, Alan?
Of course, Paul, as you know, the secretary's office had no employee files, no vendor files, no accurate timekeeping records, no tracking of sick and personal days. Our accounting records were nearly non-existent. We have no computer policy. We have been paying our employees for lunch, and our taxpayers pay approximately $4,100 per year for lunch. Prior to the time we were elected, as you know, bribing our employees to take excess trash. In fact, if you remember, Paul, one supervisor even referred to this as tipping. He felt that was perfectly acceptable. What was even worse, Paul, the transfer station did not even collect $1,000 per year. Currently, Paul, as you know, we realize at the transfer station over $1,400 per month. And Paul, the list is very long, as there is not enough time to account for all the waste and lack of management that went on in this township.
I realize that, Alan, there is still much work we have to do.
You are right, Paul. Our top story tonight is that the more responsible supervisors that are on this board is continuing to save taxpayers' funds and reduce personnel that are not required. In other events that are currently happening in Penforest Township, supervisors will be appointing a new supervisor on Thursday afternoon. And now it's time for the word on the street. Our sources tell us that some residents are not happy with this website. My advice is that those individuals that have no sense of humor should find a less interesting website to tune into. Joining us in upcoming editions of PenForestTownship.com news will be some special guests that I prefer to remain nameless at the moment in order to keep you guessing as to what their real identity is. Perhaps you can send email and try to guess who they are. I am quite sure that some of them may possibly be one of your neighbors. We will also have one of your favorite guests. I have had several requests from the audience for him to join us at PenForestTownship.com news, and he has promised to dance for us in our studios. And now you have that's the news in Penforest Township. So don't forget to stay tuned to PenForestTownship.com for the latest in Penforest Township.